Good morning, everybody. Um, Today we're manifesting a sunnier day by finding my tortoise. Um, she's usually outside during the day. I let her out and then bring her in at night. Last night we could not find her anywhere. So the only place that I can think of that she might be is under the trampoline in the pine needles. She's about the size of a softball, maybe a little bigger. So she could be hidden and camouflaged in all of it. It's been quite some time since I've cleaned up the pine needles, and there's a bunch of dog poop underneath the trampoline. So this is how we're manifesting a sunnier day today, is by finding my tortoise as my motivation and getting all that cleaned up so that she can't hide in there anymore. So come help me manifest a sunnier day and find my tortoise. A quick PSA out to everyone watching. I attempt to prioritize my limited capacity first in all situations. So hold some compassion and understanding if my quote unquote look is not up to society standards. And honestly, I really don't care what society standards are for how I present myself. My mental, physical, and emotional health are a much higher priority for me. So I've kept like most of the pine needles leaf blowed off, leaf blown off, and then like scooped up, but like around it. But actually getting under the trampoline really hasn't been done in 3-4 years. So anything that the leaf blower hasn't been able to move out to the outside edges for me to get to, it has been building up under here. So this is the first time that I've really cleaned up underneath the trampoline. This goes to my bubbles. I've got a collection of bubbles because I love bubbles. You can put the bubbles in there, and then you can long one. Gotta add it to my bubbles. So I started collecting bubbles and carrying bubbles with me all the time as a way of creating my own glimmers. I highly recommend it for anyone looking to just add a little bit more joy into their life. So normally I would put all the pine needles and stuff in the compost toter, but because there's a ton of dog poop in here, as well as like scraps from the trampoline because it's getting old, as well as old party decorations and toys and things that have been out here for a while, because the party decorations blow off in the wind and then they get stuck and whatever. So I'm gonna put this into our trash toter so that it doesn't mess with compost. Also, I just found another nail. We had our roof redone. It's been a couple months now, but we did, and I'm still, because I haven't been able to clean up too much. They did a really good job considering the mess of my yard. But yeah, so I'm still finding nails. I have to keep an eye out. But this will also go in the toter. A little background on myself. I'll talk about capacity levels in a lot now because I burnt out really bad a few years ago. I think it was fall of 22 through the spring of 23, and I had too many things going on. I was trying to do really, really well in too many different things. People pleasing, like there's the stereotypical dream child kind of thing. I was working in special education in with students who were not safe to be in the public environment. I was being attacked. I did not feel safe, or didn't know I didn't feel safe. My nervous system was screaming, but I didn't realize it until my body finally started shutting down. So I quit working, quit special education, and really started focusing on my health and trying to recover and not just recover, but recreate my lifestyle in a healthier way. It's been a long journey, and I'm still working on it. I can't work in a regular job, regular position, because it causes me too much anxiety, but I'm trying. So CPTSD, generalized anxiety, generalized depression. I still go to therapy. I've got groups. I'm working on all kinds of things constantly, but I'm getting there, working on it. There's squirrels running around. What brings me to YouTube, you might ask? I did really enjoy teaching, but the current classroom environment and climate is not a healthy place for me to be. So I'm finding a new direction that fits my capacity. I want to share my knowledge and experience with other divergent people. I want to be a safe and relatable place for others to reference or just hang out when it feels like the world is too much. So she can, and she likes to dig, but she needs really loose soil because she's not used to being outside and burying herself out there. In her tank, she has coconut fibers, and so they're really loose, so she can dig really easy. So I was really cautious right here in this area, because that's where the 2 sheets or lengths or whatever of turf meet, and there's a gap that she might have gotten into, but it's really compact soil under here, so it's very unlikely that she got like in there and dug deep, but I was really cautious just in case there is a little bit of a dip in there. I'm gonna check really quick just to make sure she's not in there. So far, no tortoise. Let's keep looking. You may have noticed the dog walking by in the background while I was just talking. She is a 10-year-old Carolina dog. It's an uncommon breed, but it is a real breed, and a protective part of our pack. She loves being with us around the house, but she doesn't like when we're moving around too much. So she headed inside where it was calmer and probably a little bit cooler. I think she was also a little confused as to why I was just talking at my phone and going back and forth. Nothing in this direction. We'll keep looking on the other side. Hopefully we find her. It's been about 20 minutes and my glasses are steaming up. Because it's warm. There's not that one, but due to my head stuff, I get dizzy really fast and I overheat really fast. Thankfully there's a little bit of a breeze. You can see the plants moving a little bit. But I have to make sure I pause and take breaks so I don't overdo it. I'm capable, but I have a capacity limit. So hydrate, cool off a bit, stay upright for a minute. I love the pattern on these gloves. I don't know if you can see it. California poppies. I love poppies. My front yard used to be full of them, but I had to take them out because they spread all over the place. But they're not high quality, so they're like coming apart. So I'm gonna have to find some more practical gloves pretty soon. Because I wear these whenever I'm working outside. There's not too much left. Just hope we can find her. All right, let's go. Back to work. So I need to make sure I'm careful over here. She does like the edges, like she tends to stay to the fence line and things like that. Doesn't go out in the middle very often. Oh, there's a squirrel just ran by. And this has a lot of like nooks and crannies and things that she probably could have climbed up into or inside or something like that to get into. So I have to be extra careful over here. So I'm probably going to use the rake to get the stuff off the top, and then I'll go in with my hands and kind of move things around and see if I can find her. So in reference to the comment I made about my head stuff in the last clip while I was sitting down, I developed really bad migraines and like significantly reduced cognitive capacity through my burnout, and it's caused me a lot of problems. Okay, nope. Rake's too big for that space. Let's just use our hands. With my content, I'm hoping to reach other divergent people who are tired of living in a society built for typical minds. I'll be working on all kinds of random projects around my house, from homemaking tasks or chores that need to be done for either safety, healthiness, or the well-being of my home, such as cleaning up multiple years of stuff under my trampoline, decluttering a closet, finding out how to repair a hole in the wall, or anything else that pops up that needs to be done, and figure it out. All the way to more rejuvenating projects that refill my battery stores, such as completing a coloring page, jigsaw puzzle, Lego set, or a video game. To the right of where I'm working right now, behind the chain link fence, is our dog run. It also has many years of stuff built up that will probably be my next project in hopes of finding our tortoise. There really aren't any gaps for her to get through to that side, but it's worth a try. Also want to note that I totally could have cleaned up all the rest of this stuff in this section, like the turf, the boards, um, but my capacity level was not a level to be doing any more than just getting the pine needles up so I could see if the tortoise was there. I also want to note that I totally could have cleaned up the scraps from our turf being laid out, the boards from building a planter box, or the extra turf rugs that we have. But I needed to keep in mind my capacity. It was still the morning, and there was a lot more that I needed to do that day. I was already having issues with my head from going up and down, and my capacity level was just not going to be doing any more than getting as much of the pine needles up and trying to find our tortoise. I later got the leaf blower and kind of blew all of the tiny debris out, but I really just focused on doing this task effectively and getting done what absolutely needed to get done instead of worrying about all the little details or trying to make it perfect or anything like that. It's something I've really been working on, and I think I'm getting better at it. Very much appreciate my flexibility. Being able to squat down here, get under this trampoline is wonderful. Grateful for that. Okay. No luck over here too. I've got this space over here along the side that she might be, but I highly doubt it because there's not a whole lot of space there. Starting to get a little worried now that I've cleaned this out and there is no signs. We'll see what happens. Just gonna find her. Now that I'm watching this back, I just noticed that flower attached to the side of the trampoline. That also could have been cleaned up, but like I said, my capacity level. I think it's been there for like 4 or 5 years. I have become completely blind to it. Like most things, once something sits in some place for a certain amount of time, it's just a part of that space. I'm blind to it. It's just there. Um, you can also see the tent that's there on the bottom left corner. We attempted to go camping for the first time last week on our vacation, and weren't successful. So we came home and we camped in our backyard. It worked out. But then now the tent's sitting there because we didn't have the time or the capacity or energy to take it down then. And that's just the way it is. It'll get picked up at some point or put away at some point, but we have other priorities and things that we need to take care of first. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm doing all of the editing and all of this myself. It's all a one-woman show. And this voiceover stuff is really starting to get to me cognitively. I'm gonna leave you guys here for a little bit and then I'll pick back up at the end. quick note. If you have pine needles, using a rake like that and a pitchfork to pick them up works fabulously. Yeah, highly recommend. If you've got any suggestions for keeping a tortoise safe in a backyard, please let me know in the comments below. As you can see here, I'm still looking around for her. So, didn't find her over there, which is a bummer. But I'm not giving up quite yet. I gotta go take this out. And then hydrate and recoup and see where we're at. Thanks for hanging out with me today. What projects have you been putting off? Let me know in the comments below and we can commiserate about it.